Ooh, spooky. It's a spooky episode of Film Seizure. I am Jason Oliver.
I am Jeff Arbuckle.
And we are both so scared right now.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Happy Halloween,
Happy
everybody.
Halloween.
A day early, but still.
Yeah.
It's All Hallows Eve.
Yeah. All Hallows Eve. And we're rounding out the Halloween season.
Yep.
It's sort of sad and happy at the same time.
Yeah.
It's the best time of year, but it's closing, coming to an end with the culmination of all things spooky tomorrow, and then it's just
November
winter.
1st. Yeah.
This is November.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Christmas. Bleh.
Consumerism.
Whatever. I like presents.
I do too.
But yeah, Halloween.
Happy Halloween, everybody.
Happy Halloween.
So what are we talking about here?
So we're talking about 2007's
Leprechaun.
Leprechaun Meets Santa.
Leprechaun meets the ice cream bunny. What?
Trickercon.
No, thankfully,
Trick or Treat in the Hood.
We survived the Leprechaun series to talk about
Trick or Treats.
Michael Dougherty, who
Not trick or treat.
Yeah, okay, let's talk about that real quick.
Trick or treat.
Because this is a busy week for me.
Oh, are you doing?
So we got a Monster
Are
Monday.
you doing Trick or Treat?
Well, Monster Monday was the Wolfman.
Yeah.
Today is Wednesday, so
Yeah.
it's Trick or Treat. Tomorrow is Halloween, Thursday. And for Halloween, I did Trick or Treat.
Yes.
See what I did there?
I did.
Now,
I do.
wait. I got something even better because Friday, November 1st, is back to my regularly scheduled B-movie enema business.
Okay.
And what did I pick? Snapshot. What's also called?
The day after Halloween.
The day after Halloween.
Wow.
I'm so
Wow,
smart.
you're just so clever.
I am. So anyway, between Monster Mondays, Film Seizure, and 2 B-movie enemas, this is a packed week.
The day after Halloween. It has nothing to do with Halloween.
Nope. It takes place in the winter in Australia, which is the summer here. So no, it has nothing to do with Halloween.
Yep.
Snapshot and One More Minute was the other title. Those 2 titles make sense.
Makes sense. Yeah. It's a creepy little movie.
I like it.
I do too.
I like it.
Anyway, we're talking about Trick or Treat.
With the little guy, with the little
Sam.
Sam guy.
Little Sam.
I want to hang out with Sam.
Short for Sam Hain. Little Sam.
You're Irish and you don't even pronounce that right.
Whatever. I grew up in West Virginia.
All right, fair enough. I thought we established over the last 4 weeks that you're fucking Irish.
Bardwar. I'm not country Irish.
Ugh.
How do you pronounce it?
Samhain. Yeah.
But it's spelled Sam Hain. And
But that's not how
a
it's pronounced.
lot of people pronounce it, and that's where the fucking Sam comes from.
Fair enough.
So I mean, it's not like it's a
His real name is Sal. All right.
Sure. Right. It's not.
All right. So what we got here is a nice little anthology flick. This is the first time we've ever really talked about an anthology, isn't it?
Is it? Yeah, you might be right.
However, it's done in the vein of, and I have a lot to say about the comic book aesthetic because this movie is full of the comic book aesthetic.
Sure.
Of the comic book anthology horror stuff. But it's done kind of in the vein of a Creep Show or the Tales from the Crypt, the old Tales from the Crypt movie.
Yeah.
Or Vault of Horror. Have you seen either one of those from the 70s?
Vault of Horror I've not seen, no.
There's some good ones. Yeah. We should check those out sometime.
It's also I know that he was not the originator of this device, but in a modern era, a contemporary era, It's kind of the Pulp Fiction, if you will, of Halloween
Yes.
anthology.
Yeah. So it is set up to be an anthology like a horror anthology comic book, which was all the rage in the early 50s until Frederick Wortham came along. That fucking bastard. Anyway,
Maybe you should explain who that is.
Frederick Wortham, most people are going to know by now. But anyway, wrote Seduction of the Innocent, which he kind of one of those, what do they call that? Causation versus damn, what's the word? Correlation versus causation. He correlated that all the kids in juvenile hall and all criminals in prison, particularly young criminals in prison, all read comic books. Ergo,
Right.
comic books led to. So anyway,
Yes.
he specifically targeted the certain superhero tropes. Called Batman and Robin gay, called Wonder Woman lesbian, Superman was a Nazi wet dream. No, I think he legitimately said something to that effect. And then
Well, I mean,
and then horror and crime comics, which were wildly popular in the early 50s. Post-war comic book, everything was all about crime and horror. And he claimed that led to delinquency. Well, the primary defendant in this whole thing with the house that was the house for the un-American activities or whatever.
Oh yeah.
They were the ones who oversaw all this, and they were they basically put on the stand William Gaines, who was the publisher of EC Comics, and William Gaines doesn't take shit from anybody. And he's like, yeah, I'd let my kid read this. And I don't see there's any reason why kids shouldn't read this. He lost his ass. Started Mad Magazine, got his ass back.
Yeah,
So-
we've talked about this in a previous episode. I can't remember when.
Something like that.
But yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so anyway, EC Comics did Vault of Horror, Tales from the Crypt, Crime Suspense Stories, and a couple of others that were framed around the idea of an anthology. Sometimes they connected, or at the very least, there would be a connecting host or something that would go from one story to the next, and would usually would follow or could follow themes in every issue. So this is kind of like that, and they kind of make sure that you know that it's basing that off of that idea from the credits. The opening and ending credits are all done in comic book panels and so forth. But I'll have more on that later. So yeah.
There's a lot to like about this movie.
Oh boy, it's fun.
It is very fun. It's very brisk. It's very rooted.
Not a dull moment in this movie.
Yeah, it really isn't. There's no fat in this movie.
There is a slowdown in this movie when it get to the final act.
Yeah.
Which this is a movie that does not have a first and second act, but it has a third act.
Yeah, and the third act really does pay everything off.
Yeah.
It's the final sort of connecting tissue between all the stories. It brings all of the major characters, players, kind of together at the end, in a way. But it's funny because it's not the last thing to happen chronologically in the movie.
Right. I'm not even sure if I know exactly what the chronological layout. We can figure that out.
It
if we want
actually
to,
doesn't necessarily make
It doesn't.
sense.
No, but it doesn't really matter. I mean,
It doesn't, because I think the girls in the car at the end blow it. Unless that's the van and they're going to the campground.
They are. I think they are on. No, it's the car. I think they're on their way to go buy their costumes.
Okay, then it would work.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the last,
Because I don't think they're dressed in their
the
costumes.
last thing to happen chronologically should be either the werewolf scene or the rock quarry scene. And no, it has to be the werewolves then. Yeah, because the query scene would have happened before.
Maybe. I don't know. So we'll break this down because there are essentially 5 stories in here. One really, really short one to start is kind of our cold open. You have Leslie Bibb, who returns from the Midnight Meat Train. Is that what that movie was? That what?
She was in Midnight Meat Train.
Yeah,
yes,
okay.
She was. She's been in a lot of things.
Sure, but I mean, like what we've seen her in on this show. But she is the girlfriend or wife of a guy who's way in the Halloween and way in the porn. I'm just as confounded as you are on the porn, but we'll get to that here in a minute.
They say it's 4 tales of horror at the beginning in the title sequence. I would argue it's more than that. I would argue it's like 6 or 7 even that just happen to tie together.
Okay.
In different ways.
I think I know what you're getting at there. But
yeah, it's
okay. So it starts with the cold open, the little brief little 1-pager, if this was a comic, of girlfriend who is frustrated at boyfriend's over decoration of their front yard for Halloween. It's Halloween night. They're coming in for the night. She wants it all gone because her parents are coming over the next morning or whatever, and she has some unsavory things to say about Halloween in general.
Yeah.
So he wants to get laid because it's Halloween, and Halloween's for lovers.
He wants to watch his videotape.
Right. He wants. So she's like, go in there, go ahead and go in there, put on the tape, and it's a fucking porno tape. It's great.
It's labeled
Nature Special.
That's
not a hockey tape.
That's not a hockey tape. He puts it in the VCR. It's an actual VHS tape, which is funny. He puts it in the VCR, and he's so excited about it.
Yeah, it's like,
I think he's a little drunk, and he's like, ooh, he's looking at his tape, and he basically falls asleep watching porn.
Which she said, I think that's all that's going to happen if we try this. You know. So she's trying to take down decorations, and then I guess she's going to meet him up there. I don't know, whatever.
She's going to go inside, and then she's probably expecting him to be asleep because she knows how this is going to go.
Right.
Yeah.
And so she ends up being killed.
Yeah, by something.
It's something that's hiding in the decorations, and it kills her, like in front of people.
Yeah.
But it doesn't really, it's hard to really tell what's going on.
There's a lot of just spooky Halloween shit happening in this town.
Yeah, there's a Halloween parade. There's Halloween parties all over the place. There's
like a Halloween furry sex party.
Yeah. No, it's not a furry sex party. It was a hot dog butt fucking a pig.
Well, they were all like furries.
Well, basically, yeah. I mean, it was whatever. Sexy shenanigans happen on
shenanigans.
Halloween. So anyway, so she gets killed, lead into the credits. So it's just kind of a little 1 or 2 page story there. He
comes out, he pulls a sheet up, and he sees his wife's beheaded head on a pike, on a stake in their yard. Yeah. And the rest of her body's hanging from the tree, and it's scary.
Yeah.
Cold open into credits.
Yeah. So then that's when we get into the 4 main stories, and so I'll go through the main stories. You tell me where you think more stories happen. Okay. So first story, the next thing that we see is the Dylan Baker story, where he is a widower with a son, and he has gone to the store for something, and he's left a little bucket of candy out in the front porch. And this fat kid that's been knocking over pumpkins and just generally being a shithead. Yeah. He's got chocolate smeared on his face like a.
It's the fat kid from Bad Santa.
Yeah.
Same actor.
Yeah, he's a grosso in this. And so that's mean.
He's kind of a grosso in Bad Santa too, but he's the charming little kid.
He's the charming grosso, and he's the gross grosso
he's
in
a
this.
Sweet charming grosso.
Yeah.
In
this he's got chocolate smeared on his face.
In
That's
2
gross.
kind of like holiday movies. That's weird.
Yeah.
Hasn't been in many things, but he's got
He
he's
needs
got
to
like
be in a St. Patrick's
he's got
Day movie.
yeah.
He needs to be in a Valentine's Day
I think
movie.
that should be his life goal.
Yeah.
Is to make
Then-
all of the holiday
and then
movies.
finally they make an Arbor Day movie and he
It's like,
completes it.
We have to get him.
Yeah.
So
and then he retires into
Arbor Day.
Yeah. He retires not by just saying I retire. He like turns into a luminescent piece of something and then shoots off into the sky and becomes a star.
And while barfing poison razor candy.
Yeah.
Copious amounts of it.
Yes.
Like
So-
it's propelled with so much force that it launches him into the sky. It's like those fucking water powered jetpack things.
Yeah. So anyway, come to find out, the Dylan Baker's character, Mr. Something or another, is poisoning kids.
He's also the high school principal.
Yes. So he's poisoning everybody. He is injected cyanide into every candy bar.
Yeah.
Because you see it on his kitchen table. And he buries the kids in the backyard or whatever.
And he's also it's got his own son wrapped up in it.
Yeah.
Because they're
going to carve that
a
fat
jack-o'-lantern, but the fat kid are going to carve a jack-o'-lantern into the fat kid's head.
He's also got some other kinks too.
Which I kind of like the idea that maybe in a weird sort of like time-shifting way that fat kid is Sam. Or Sal.
He is a Sal.
He is a Sal.
Yeah. No, wait.
It's totally weird and dumb. But
that doesn't make any sense. Why would he be the vengeance of Halloween?
Because
he's a bully
because
jerkhead.
they were going to make him in a jack-o'-lantern.
That's
Sam
that's
is a
loose, man. That
jack-o'-lantern
is some shaky ground you're on with
I
that.
don't know. I just kind of like it. I just kind of like it.
I'm gonna have to
He's gonna
veto
get,
that
he's
out of
gonna,
our
he's gonna,
out of our
he's gonna
script.
get some fucking revenge though.
Well, yeah. I mean, I
Yeah.
guess, but that doesn't make sense. I mean, he's a little shithead. It wouldn't make sense for him to be.
I don't know.
Anyway, so that seemingly is the conclusion of Dylan Baker's story.
Right.
It is not though, but we'll get to that later.
But I would say that Dylan Baker, he is his own story, but he's also like a sub story as the vampire guy.
Yeah. So okay, the next story concerns these four hot ladies, really hot ladies.
Very sexy.
They start off by going to a costume shop to buy costumes, and these are every thing that you always hear people complain about every October about the sexy costume. Like, why does Cinderella have to be that sexy? Me personally, it's okay by me.
Well, their conversation about it cracks me up because they're recounting all the different years past.
Yeah.
And what sexy themed costumes they wore together.
Right. They were
funny.
sexy nurses one time. So like this time they're fairy tale characters.
Yes.
There's a Snow White. There's a Anna Paquin is Little Red Riding Hood.
Yeah.
For a specific reason.
Yeah.
Then you have Cinderella, which is her big sister. Anna Paquin's big sister, and then is the other one like Belle or
maybe Belle? I don't know.
Anyway,
the two recognizable ones are Cinderella and Little Red Riding Hood.
Well, definitely the one girl.
Oh, is Snow White.
Snow White.
Yeah.
I think Belle was the other because I think she was wearing a yellow dress.
Yeah, it could be.
Anyway, so they are apparently going to a party, and Big Sister is concerned that Anna Paquin isn't going to be able to score a date.
Right, and there's like a lot of this sort of over the top, like you're still a virgin. What the hell? I mean, you kind of know something's up here. Like they're probably not. Big Sister's not gonna be that concerned about.
They probably have monsters for vaginas.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. You
and I think I accidentally just said virgina.
Virgina. they have virginas. They do. I know. It's perfect.
It was an accident. Happy Halloween, everybody.
But it's they're sort of leading you along like she's never been with a man before. They're trying to get her laid, yada yada yada. They're going to a party. There's a lot of just sort of you're always
she's so reserved.
Yeah,
because like the other girls just go up to.
There's a joke later that their mom always called her the runt of the litter.
Right.
It's
and they show up. They walk up to these guys with a van, and it's like, so we're going to a party. We need dates, and they're like, okay, I agree. Okay, these girls are really, really pretty. So
until they start ripping their flesh off.
Hey now, hey man, love is love. All right, I'm okay with the idea of trans species females.
Trans species.
Yeah, so they're vampires, or not vampires. I'm sorry, they're werewolves.
Werewolves,
and they're actually skinwalkers.
Yeah,
is what they would really be. I mean,
yeah.
These are werewolves who wear. Well, like they take their fucking skin off. Like at one point, you see this one girl. I think she was the cheerleader, because there was a sexy cheerleader there too. But like, she puts her like leg up on like a log, and she's like taking off her skin like it's like
it's a hosiery.
Yeah. I was kind of into that. Anyway, it's a very suggestive scene. And so,
but there's also this vampire that's
there's
stalking
a vampire that's stalking this
women
parade.
around the parade, and he stalks and kills a woman at the parade, and right in the middle of everyone. And he kind of props her up against the one of the storefronts, and she's
where like some
bloody
other blacked out people are.
Yeah, it's like nobody really notices because it's that kind of parade, I guess.
And people
it's
are drunk
Halloween,
all over
and people
the
are
place.
drunk, and they bump into the married couple from the beginning.
Yep.
And the guy's like, "Oh, she's just drunk. It's not a big deal because she's trying to escape the vampire."
Yeah, and she's got blood coming down her, but so does everybody
else behind her does, and they're all drinking, so he just assumes that she's with them. Yeah,
right, and just goofing off or whatever. The vampire is lured by basically Anna Paquin as Little Red Riding Hood walking alone in the woods, kind of perfectly set up.
Yeah,
and she fucks him up real good, and then throws him out of a tree into the party where all the other werewolf bitches are.
Yeah.
They would literally be bitches.
Yes, they would. With vaginas.
With vaginas.
I'm surprised there wasn't a bitch joke, actually.
Right?
Yeah.
Maybe there was one, but maybe I was just looking at boobs. I don't know. Well, those costumes barely fit those girls.
Oh, they were about as tight as their skin was. And it came, and they
also come off.
Yep.
They peel right off.
Yeah, they didn't even bother to really like take their clothes off. They just took their clothes and skin off at the same time. All one. Yeah. Like a tight glove.
Yep. So the vampire is not a real vampire.
No.
He's got fake teeth. So apparently he's just biting jugulars out of chicks. And it's Dylan Baker.
Dylan Baker. Yeah.
So
Dylan Baker's a confounding character actor. He has been in some just atrocious movies and bad in them, but he's also is really good in a lot of things. He's a fascinating guy.
He's really good in this.
He is really good in this
because he's the unassuming mass murderer, and he's also a predator.
Yeah,
and he's also a dad.
Yeah, and he's also a principal,
and he's also a neighbor.
Yeah.
He's also a human being.
He's kind of like the guy who. The normal guy with a normal life who just snaps one day.
Yes.
Right? You get the feeling that
he would be perfect for a remake of Falling Down.
Yeah. And it's kind of what it is. He's
very straight-laced looking, and he talks. He does not have a very deep tenor to his voice.
The only thing you really know about him is that his wife is dead.
And he doesn't like kids.
And he does not like kids. Well, at least not anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
He barely likes the son.
Yeah, because that's what I kind of get from him is that his job has driven him insane.
But he's probably always killed women dressed up as Dracula.
Yeah, well, yeah, and you kind of get the sense that maybe he killed his wife too.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when he's talking about like all the stuff that his son always says, like, I wish mommy was still alive and stuff like that. And it's
Daddy, why don't you play with me?
Yeah.
Daddy, I wish mom was still alive.
Right. So anyway, so that's the conclusion of that story. You got werewolf bitches, literal bitches.
Literal.
Then you have my favorite story, which is the kids going to the rock quarry.
Yeah, and this to me is kind of two stories.
Okay, so this is the first point where we have an extra story here.
Well, I don't know, because I almost called Dylan Baker two stories. So you've got, I think you call the married couple a story.
It's a lead-in story. It's a forward,
but it's something.
Yeah.
And it also, you've come to find out, introduces Sam.
Yes.
Right, because I think Sam is also his own story.
Well, he's the connecting thread through all of the stories.
Right, but he's kind of like his own.
Well,
he's probably more conceptual to anything in the whole thing.
I would say that he is not his own story because we don't know his backstory. We just know that he's the spirit of vengeance of Halloween.
But it's right. But it's a vignette that's broken up into other stories.
Yeah, I guess so.
So I don't know. I kind of
because I didn't mention that Sam watches the werewolves eat their male victims. He's just sitting there watching. He's just sitting there watching that werewolf orgy like nothing's going on.
But yes, I kind of consider the bus accident and the telling of the bus accident and with the kids and the prank kind of two separate stories.
Okay.
But that obviously depend on one another.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite things in a spooky story, in a spooky movie, is the spooky story, right?
Yeah.
You've got, so the story is that 30 years ago, it's always a round number, right? Yeah. It's 30 years ago, there is this bus full of, they don't really say exactly, they just say that they were different kids.
Right.
That they went to a different school way outside of town so the parents didn't have to be embarrassed by them or whatever. But you get the impression that they're like autistic and they're possibly they're mentally challenged in several ways.
Right.
Maybe even physically challenged.
Well, yes.
Because there was certainly one little person, I think, there too. Because I think there was one little...
they're not normal children.
No.
Normal. I shouldn't say normal, but they're not.
Well, they're just say how they were. They were special. They were different. They were different than normal. Damn it. No, they were
special. Is always, I feel like, so condescending.
It is.
Even though the Special Olympics is that's what they call it, but it feels so condescending to me.
They were different.
Yeah.
They were different. Take that however you want. Take that however you want. I don't know what else to say. They're different. So anyway.
Mentally and physically challenged. We'll just leave it at that.
Okay, we'll go with that. That's fine.
All right.
They go to a special school. They go to a different school. They go to a mentally challenged. They go to school. God, that's terrible. I'm not editing
the
any
things
of
we're going through to avoid saying the R word.
Yeah. So they go to a different school out in the outskirts of town, like where nobody can see them, basically. And what I really like about the story is that the telling of it.
Yeah.
The girl that's telling the story is really good at telling the story, and she's like,
and she really wants to tell the story.
She even bitches out another one of her friends for trying to tell the story before.
I mean, this is her show, man.
This is her thing, man.
She's been planning this for Halloween night. You get the sense since last Halloween night.
Right. And there's a reason for that. And we'll get to that here in a minute. But so basically, as she tells the story, it's like, the parents are tired. They're worn out by these different kids. I'm just using the terminology that the story would have. Okay, stop doing that.
Fair.
Stop looking at me like that.
I'm not.
Stop. Anyway,
You're gonna have to put a mask on me and chain me up in the bus.
only chains would hold them.
Throw candy at me.
So she's like, so the parents were tired, that they were tired of having to deal with these kids and having to always be mindful of their needs and of the way that things looked in public. And, right or wrong, that's a very accurate telling of some people's experiences. Right or wrong, people feel this way sometimes.
And it's a fucking horror movie.
Exactly. So it's going to amplify that a little bit. Turn that up a little bit. And so
Let's not shy away from things that are uncomfortable. This is a horror movie.
Yeah. So they pile all their money together and they pay off the bus driver to make an accident happen, which basically is to drive the school bus off of a rock quarry, an abandoned rock quarry. So the guy does go to the quarry. He's going to give the kids candy to basically shut them up because one kid in particular is like, wrong way. Like, he's like really upset. Get it. I would be too. Especially knowing what's going to happen. It's really, really nasty and bad. But anyway, so he, while he's handing out candy, one of the kids slips his restraints and goes up to the driver's seat and is like, I'm going to take us home, basically.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm taking matters in my own hands, except he doesn't know how to drive. He's probably not even old enough. That's probably
why he drove the bus off the cliff. Yes.
That's what I was going to say. Why he doesn't know how to drive was because he's like 12. No other reason. He drives the bus off the cliff. He drives the bus off the cliff.
Does that kid survive? Because he's not chained up.
No.
So
none of the kids survived. The bus driver is the only person.
The bus driver survives, but
no, 100% that kid didn't survive because of what we see later.
Well, yeah, but we don't see him specifically.
Yes,
he's
the one who says
at the end
trick or treat.
Trick or treat. Okay. Yeah, but he could have survived.
He didn't.
Was it because he didn't know how to drive?
He didn't know how to drive.
He was 12.
He was 12. He doesn't know how to survive. Did you know how to survive when you were 12?
Nope. No idea. It's amazing that neither of us made it to our 13th birthday, actually. 12 is a dangerous age.
All right, so there's that story. But, so that's told through these kids who are trying to basically pull a prank on... I don't even know what that term is.
They call her an idiot savant.
Idiot savant.
Yeah.
And she is. I mean, she's
autistic.
She is. And
Yep.
But she just really likes Halloween.
Yeah, she really likes Halloween. You can tell is pretty high functioning.
Oh, sure. She's not.
And
she's excited to be with people
and intelligent. Yeah, but
you get the impression. I've got a whole backstory for this.
But she doesn't pick up on social cues.
Right, but she does think that, oh my gosh, these popular kids want to hang out
with me, and the cute boy,
and it's Halloween,
and the cute boy wants to hang out with me.
Yeah, and he's kind of nice to her.
It's kind of like, is this a bet? Is this a stupid bet?
Is this a she's all that?
Yeah, that she's all that.
She's all thatted.
Yeah, she does. So it's a prank.
She's one of those girls that in the later movie, like when she's grown up and she's no longer traumatized by this, it'd be one of those movies where a guy would be like, I bet if you take her glasses off, she could be prom queen. And then that's the whole premise of a fucking movie.
Yeah. Yeah, like she's all that.
Yeah. We're really off the rails there.
Nah,
guys.
we're good.
We're good. All right, we're good.
This is the creepiest part of the movie because I think
it's super foggy. It's atmospheric.
Right,
I love
a lot of atmosphere, a lot of fog. It's just a creepy elevator that goes down to the rock quarry, which is where they're going to stage this prank. It's
It's a really good prank.
It is a good prank. It reminds me a lot of like Carpenter's The Fog.
Yeah.
Right. It's kind of sort of got that sort of tone and creepiness.
Well, and what's really great about this is that
it's the old ghost story, you know?
Exactly. What I really like about this is that it they tell this story which totally sounds like an urban legend.
Right.
And when you follow the people down to the bottom of the quarry, holy shit, there's an actual bus down there.
Sticking out of the water.
It's sticking out of the water.
It's a true story.
Yeah, it turns out, whoops, it's a true story.
Yeah.
Which the kids telling the story don't even realize it's a true story. They just think they're just telling an urban legend of the neighborhood.
Well, the main girl knew.
Did she?
Yeah, because the girl with the mouth, with the shit in her mouth, the mouth guard.
Yeah.
She was like, oh my God, there's really a bus, and the other girl who's telling the story is
Macy.
She tells the way she reacts is like, yeah, that part of the story is true.
Okay.
Yeah. Like she seems pretty positive that she knew that this was a thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So okay.
And of course she does too, because I think she's gone down this elevator. She's staged this whole thing, and she's seen the bus.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah. So but that's really, I mean, that's cool, because as the audience, we don't know that it's true.
Yeah, because it's presented like an urban legend,
and it's pretty fantastic. I mean, especially because it's like,
oh, and the bus driver was never seen from again.
The bus driver was never seen from again. The bus sank so deeply they could never find it,
which is weird because
it's right there.
Yeah,
it's like after a while the water recedes and somebody at the top of the quarry is like, oh, there it is.
There's the bus. Yeah, I don't know. That's weird.
Yeah, and you know the people
could be a
at
ghost
the top.
bus. Maybe it's a ghost bus. Maybe it appears
on Halloween. Because that's the other thing is the story takes place on Halloween exactly 30 years ago. Another thing I like about that, 30 years ago tonight would have been like 1977.
Mm-hmm.
All the cars except for the bus, all the cars parked on the road were from the 50s.
Oh,
so like it's this weird kind of timeless idea where it's like some things aren't fitting properly, but it doesn't matter because the story isn't real, quote unquote.
Right. And it's just like small town USA is where this whole thing takes place.
Yeah, it's in Ohio.
Did they say Ohio?
It's something Ohio, yeah. They say at the very beginning.
Oh, interesting. I missed that.
Because they were talking about the parade and how the city, the town really comes out for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
And also the movie starts with an old not instructional video, but
it's
what do they call those?
Well, it's trick or treat safety is what
it looks like it was probably from the 50s or 60s trick or treat safety video.
That was, I believe, something that Michael Dougherty would make prior to this movie. I think he did make little animated or little features like that.
Like jokey ones, like short film ones? Yeah. That's interesting.
I think so.
That particular one sounds really familiar. I feel like I've heard it sampled.
Oh, I know. I know what you're talking about. I know exactly what you're talking about. I've seen it many, many times. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a safety video where it's like, make sure you cut the eyes big enough in your
the little witch.
Yep. Don't walk, because they also show like the little kid who doesn't see very well walk out into the road where a car's coming.
Yeah. It's the little witch who's got the mask with the eyes aren't big enough. Her
peripheral is
her cloak or whatever she's wearing is too long, so she trips on it.
Yep, and no reflective. It's all black.
No reflective tie. Yep. Pretty famous.
Yep. So anyway, what's the prank? What do they do for this prank that's so elaborate?
Well,
it's ridiculously elaborate for
really
little
is.
kids.
So they go down in two waves down this elevator
because
to the bottom of the quarry.
Make sure it's like it can only take 3 people safely.
So she goes with the other girl that's her friend with the shit in her face, the mouth guard, and the boy, the
cute
older,
boy, which she likes.
Cute older boy, which she likes, and they go down to the bottom, and then they send the elevator back up, and the little autistic girl and the smaller boy who's dressed as a baseball player, I think.
Pirate.
Or pirate, yeah, because I like your patch, right?
Yeah, I like your eye patch.
I like your eye
After
patch.
she rattles off the whole history
of Halloween, yeah.
He's like,
And he was like, oh, okay.
And she's like, I like your eye patch.
So they go down next, and it's sort of disorienting. I don't know what they do to amplify the spookiness. I don't know if they.
Well, what ends up happening is that she sees the boy getting his guts eaten.
Right. There's like an attack that happens, and the boy gets attacked by some creature, and it's like sausages and stuff coming out. You know, they're gnawing on him, and he's got red face painted on him. And all bloody, and then she sees these 3 ghouls basically coming after her, like the ghosts of the kids who were in the bus, right? And she falls backward off of a little ridge
and hits her head,
and knocks her out for a minute.
And they think she's dead.
Yeah,
which they do put in the broken bone sound effect to make you think.
Yeah, it's
that she's dead.
Sort of sickening thud.
Yeah, like she broke her brain or she broke her neck.
But she's not. She comes to. They're relieved to some degree, especially the boy.
Yeah, who really?
He seems like
He doesn't really want to hurt her feeling. Like he, as cruel as this joke is to play on that type of person.
Yeah.
It's he does not seem to really mean her any harm, and in fact is actually like cradling her when she's like just letting it out, like crying and like just scared out of her brain.
He's like, this has gotten out of hand, basically.
Yeah, and he's like, everybody go get your shit, we're getting out of here, basically. And like Macy's like, says who? It's like, me, you fucking bitch. You're a little fucking bitch, Macy.
Not a real bitch.
Not a real bitch, but a little bitch.
So it was a big prank on her, and what was the reason why she pranked her? Did they mention it?
No, not that I remember. I think they were just wanting to pick on a different girl.
Yeah, she's just kind of she's just kind of a mean girl.
Yeah, I mean, you get that impression the entire time where she's super sweet to the adults, but then is like kind of a bitch to all of her friends.
Right. Yeah.
And she just wants to get in that one dude's pants, but the one dude kind of doesn't really seem to like her.
Right.
Is kind of sweet to the girl that she wants to prank.
Right.
Which only makes her that much more of a little bitch.
But then what happens?
It's real.
It's all real. They are real. They're there.
And the kids are coming out of the water.
The different kids are attacking.
Yes.
And they attack and they kill all of them except the girl that got pranked.
Yes, because what she ends up doing is like basically the guy's like, all right, go back to the because he hears the other people screaming, the other kids screaming. So he's like, all right, wait, what's the girl's name that they were pranking?
I can't remember her name.
Oh, it's an older person's name.
Ethel.
No.
Esther.
No.
Ruth.
No.
Closer? Rose.
Rhonda. So they're like, Rhonda, go to the
That's
to
like
the
a
elevator.
Classic diner.
Yeah, kind of
waitress name.
Yeah, like open mouth chewing bubble gum, taking your order.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
Kiss my grits? No, that's
kind of like a West Side Story or Grease. You know, like a biker chick.
Rhonda Rizzo.
Yeah, it would be good. Yep.
So the guy's like, Rhonda, get into the elevator. I'm gonna go find out what all the screaming's about. They come back, and she's locked herself in the little lift, and they're like, let us in. This is not a prank, and she can see what's going on behind them. They're like these zombie kids coming after him. You know, and so like she's just like, fuck off, and then just instead of giving them the key to let them in, hits the button to go up, and they get fucking murderlated, and she just walks home.
Yep.
I think Sam is there too, like kind of giving her a little salute.
Yeah, I think he sees her walk by.
Yep.
Up at the top.
Yep. And he's like, good job. Like, those people had it coming.
Yep. Yes, they did.
What's the final story in this movie?
Well, it's the latest Brian Cox movie.
That's an inside joke we're never going to explain.
No.
I don't have time for this shit.
It's way, yeah. It's not even.
It's
that
not
good
even
of
that.
a story.
No, but it's one of those things that you witness in life
Yep.
that you can't believe you witnessed,
Yep.
and then it's just you just laugh,
Yeah.
and then that's it. But anyway, yeah, Brian Cox,
Brian Cox. He is. We've met this character already.
actor extraordinaire.
Oh yeah. I mean, the first person to play Hannibal Lecter on screen.
Yes.
He's amazing. We met this character earlier. He is Dylan Baker's neighbor, old crotchety man with a little dog, like a little bull
It's a little
terrier.
it's like a little Jack Russell or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's his name is Mr. Krieg,
Mr. Krieg.
which sounds like a Klingon
And
name.
it does. And he almost catches Dylan Baker earlier burying the little fat kid in his backyard.
You're right.
There's a whole scene with that, and you see something happen to Brian Cox in his house. He's screaming for help, and then you see something attack him, and Dylan Baker just ignore it because he was a piece of shit. They're not really friends.
Right.
So he ignores it, and then you're like, "Ooh, what happened there?" Well, you find out in the final act.
Yeah, so basically, he's a real dickwad to kids on Halloween. So Sam comes to pay him a little visit
Yeah,
and fucks him up real good, like
because Sam's thing is you don't fuck with Halloween.
right.
Like the rules are tenuous. Like there's some mention earlier about from Dylan Baker talking to the fat kid that he ultimately kills about how the rituals and traditions of Halloween are here for a reason. They were meant to protect us. But nobody really cares about that anymore, right?
Which is funny because he's the one guy who is practically he's the safest character. Period. It seems from Sam
Yeah,
because
but
even
he gets his own.
comeuppance
Yeah.
because of his other doings.
Yes,
None of his doings are offensive to Sam.
right.
And I wonder because like sometimes like there are some things that some of the girls kind of say or do with Halloween that seems to be maybe not what Sam would want them to do, but Sam's probably like, I ain't fucking with those werewolf bitches. It'll tear me apart.
Well, yeah, they're creatures of Halloween.
They're
you
creatures,
know?
right? So
They exist. They coexist with Sam.
yeah,
Yeah.
they don't seem to be hungry for Sam
No.
because they just let him watch.
Well, they probably don't like pumpkin pie. Because Sam is made out of pumpkin guts.
Yeah, he is.
Because it's not just Pulp Fiction of the Halloween anthology.
It's a
It's
pumpkin
the pumpkin Pulp Fiction. Oh!
And we brought it home. Woo! And we are going to never have another episode again because we just nailed it.
Nailed it.
Okay, so
but this is where I think to diverge a little bit or digress a little bit. A movie that we both really like that was super low budget independent that came out a year or two ago, The Barn.
oh yeah,
Kind of takes its cues, I think, a little bit from this movie. It takes the idea of these rules of Halloween that should not be broken, and really runs with it.
right.
Right. This movie just kind of uses it as its sort of slasher through line, like
Right.
like monster slasher through line, which is great. I like the less is more aspect to that. Where The Barn started to kind of lose me was how over the top all the rules were that were introduced.
Well, what I would say is why I appreciate that so much is that it didn't take itself so seriously that it couldn't really do something fun with it still.
Sure. I think it was more the character that was necessary to facilitate the knowledge of the rules. It's
Yeah.
like, how does this fucking guy exist? Right?
Sure. Sure.
That was, I think, what annoyed me. But I like the idea, and especially like the idea in the context of this movie, Trick or Treat, because it just layers the mythology, and it makes me feel all Halloween-y.
Yeah.
Right? And
Halloweeny.
Halloween-y.
With Virginia.
With Virginia.
Get your Halloweeny
Halloweenies
right up
and
that
Virginia.
vagina. Oh, you got a Halloweeny.
Halloweeny.
I'm with you.
But yes. but to continue Brian Cox has offended Sam. He's offended Halloween.
Yes.
So
It's not so
Sam-
much. I mean, you could technically, I think, offend Sam. Just don't fuck with Halloween.
Right. He's fucked with Halloween.
Like if you say, look at that bulbous headed jerk over there, he ain't gonna come over and kill you.
But
you say this fucking holiday sucks, he's gonna come and kill you.
Right. And his main transgression is the fact that he doesn't give Halloween candy out to the kids. He scares them away.
He scares them away.
Which
you would think though, trick or treat.
But it's kind of a prank.
Yeah.
Right. And he gives them a trick. Right. Which I think it's in the spirit of Halloween.
I would think.
But he's a curmudgeon about it.
Yes.
And that's not going to fly for Sam. Which is, again,
right, because Sam doesn't show up until he starts clicking through the channels, and every channel is talking about Halloween. He goes, ugh.
Yeah.
And it's like Sam's like, what the fuck you say?
Right.
That's how Sam talks.
He's chasing the kids away because they're an inconvenience, not because it's in the spirit of the holiday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although it is still kind of elaborate. Like he's got little glowy eyes on the
The
dog.
little dog makes it look like a little demon dog.
It makes demon noises, like growling noises and stuff. I mean, it's pretty
pretty
funny. Yeah, it's pretty good.
I'd do that,
Yeah,
but I don't want.
And it scares the absolute poop out of these kids.
Sure does.
That would be funny to see.
Why pull back now with the word shit?
I don't know. I like poop sometimes.
Okay,
poop is just like poop, just coming out everywhere. Just poop everywhere. It's funny, right? I'm just pooping. I'm just pooping everywhere.
Yeah, I get it. Sometimes butt is funny.
Yeah, right.
I mean,
butt
stuff. Butt
stuff
stuff is a really funny word.
It's way funnier than ass stuff. Butt stuff, yeah.
Ass play is not as funny
Ass play,
as
butt play, yeah. It just sounds like whimsical.
Gonna do some butt stuff.
Butt play tonight. It's like Tina Belcher. Butts.
Yeah. So right. So he does kind of offense. So Sam comes, writes a bunch of creepy stuff all over his walls. Has a flaming jack-o'-lantern. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And
he kind of like gets a little elaborate.
He does. It's like this guy's really got it coming.
Like he didn't fuck around with what's her name in the beginning, Bibb.
Leslie
Bibb. He just
Bib.
brutally murders her, beheads her
pretty much
in about 20 seconds.
Yeah.
But with this guy,
it's
Brian
like
Cox,
he needs to feel every moment of this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but also, Brian Cox also says, "I've got my NRA membership card in my pocket." when he's trying to figure out who's messing around in the backyard. But he's got a rifle. He blows Sam's hand off. He takes his little mask off and he's a little skull pumpkin head.
He
guy.
almost looks like a pumpkin alien.
Yeah, he kind of does, but it also looks like a skull. You know what it looks like? It looks like the cover of the VHS box to Halloween 2. That is fucking specific.
Yeah, it kind of does.
Yeah. I just idiot savanted that.
But it does look like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a lot.
Yeah. Anyway.
He looks more like Pumpkinhead than Pumpkinhead.
He does. Pumpkinhead's not a fucking pumpkin.
He's not a fucking pumpkin at all.
I was really disappointed when I was like 10.
Me
and saw that
too.
movie.
I was like, wait a minute. I was promised a fucking Pumpkinhead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be like Ichabod Crane and that story, Sleepy Hollow.
I did too.
Anyway, so he messes, he fucks up Sam pretty good, but Sam pulls himself back together, quite literally.
Mm-hmm.
And
is that the little hand crawling around?
Yep. He
the
pulls,
hand attacks Brian Cox.
He does that first, and then he kicks the hand away,
Mm-hmm.
and then the hand goes over to the body and reattaches itself, and then he pulls out a sucker, a little jack-o'-lantern sucker, and bites off part so it's got a real sharp tip on it.
Yeah.
And he's going to use that as the killing weapon.
Killing blow. Yeah.
So he attacks, and long story short, basically instead of putting that sharp tip into the chest of Brian Cox, he puts it into a chocolate bar, and he picks it up and he looks at the chocolate and it's like, oh, and he starts eating on the chocolate bar and leaves.
Yep.
He just ups and leaves.
He got his treat.
So hey, I'm cool with you now, Brian Cox. Don't get in any more trouble tonight.
Yeah, don't fuck with Halloween anymore.
So next thing you see is some kids come to the door, trick or treat. He's got he's all bandaged up and he's got candy and he gives it to him. He's like, he's learned his lesson.
Cool mummy costume.
Yeah. And he just kind of stares at the kid like.
So he's
Brian
kind of
Cox
like, he's
probably
learned
did.
his lesson. He's given him candy. You then see Leslie Bibb and her husband come home from their party.
You see all the characters
All the
kind of
characters,
converge
right.
right at this moment.
Yeah, they're sort of all intersecting here.
Right.
You see the the girls, I think, on the way to pick up their costumes. You see are the little girl with her pumpkin from the quarry.
Yep.
Walking home.
That was the other thing. They were all supposed to bring 8. They were supposed to bring 8 pumpkins for those kids in the quarry.
One for each.
Right.
Yeah,
And so the
super
girl
elaborate.
and the girl still has her pumpkin, so
Yeah.
she wins.
Yeah. And then Brian Cox, old man, goes back to sit down in his chair just after giving some kids candy. Another doorbell ring. He's sort of like, you could see it. He's trying to he's not happy about having to get back up, but he's trying to mask his dismay and disdain because he knows he can't fuck with Halloween.
Yep.
And he goes to open the door, and who do we see?
We see 8 different zombies.
Yes. And we see in the fireplace some photographs
That he's been burning. And he was the bus driver.
He was the bus driver.
Dun, dun, dun. And the little Dracula kid, with the Dracula mask, is like, trick or treat.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah. And then you see in comic book panels, they fuck him up real good.
Yeah.
Fuck him up real good.
Credits roll. Spooky music.
Good movie.
Good movie.
It's fun. It's a brisk 82 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, I think before credits it's only 79. Yeah, it is very brisk, no fat, very fun, very watchable.
I could watch it
year.
every year in
I'll probably watch
October.
Yeah. I was gonna say I'll probably watch it again in a couple months, but it's because we're recording this episode early and it's not actually Halloween.
Never too early for Halloween.
Exactly. I was actually thinking when we were watching, I was like, oh my god, it's like light outside and it was 7:00.
Yeah.
And I was like, this isn't Halloween yet. So it feels weird.
Hey, I'm in the mood though.
I'm in it now.
Yeah, let's
bring
fucking
it
get
on.
that start.
I want
Hey, you know
2
what's
months
awesome?
of Halloween now.
I was at the store the other day, and
Candy corn.
not only is the candy corn out, not only is the autumn mix out, not only is the what do they call the darker candy corn? It used to be Indian corn.
Oh yeah,
or Indian candy corn or
different
whatever.
corn. It's different. You could use it for everything.
Yeah, I guess so. But now they're starting to get like the fall time, like come buy a bale of hay and
What?
a scarecrow thing.
Oh,
You know, like the bale, like they have a little bale of hay so you can stick a little scarecrow.
you know what
a
I think
scarecrow
I'm
next
gonna
to it.
do tomorrow for Halloween? I've been wanting to do this since I watched this movie.
Wait, you mean October 3rd? What?
I got to start getting to work because I only have one day to do it because Halloween is tomorrow. But I was thinking about this last Halloween, and I was reminded watching Trick or Treat today that I want to do a bunch of fucking jack-o'-lanterns in the yard.
Oh yeah.
Susan and I, we usually do 2 jack-o'-lanterns, one each. But man, I want to do like a dozen of them and set them up and hang them from the tree in my front yard.
Make some like happy faces, some
Yeah.
like spooky faces.
Right, mix them up.
Yeah.
Yeah, do a bunch of them.
I'm not into like the elaborate
I'm not either. I like simple.
I like or hee hee. Like like the jack-o'-lanterns that are like missing teeth and stuff. Those are fun, man. Those are goofy guys that you can make them with googly eyes.
I like all of them. And I like them simple. I don't like to do like the patterns and stuff.
Yeah,
It's
that's
too
hard,
much work.
man. That's hard.
And if I'm gonna do fucking like a dozen of them, you better believe they're gonna be simple.
Yeah.
But I always do at least one that is or usually the one that I carve every year. I'm not that original, nor am I that creative, but I usually like to do the exact Halloween jack-o'-lantern.
Oh
from
yeah,
the movie Halloween.
Yeah.
I love the
Well,
look
now
of that.
now you need to work on the Halloween 2 one that looks
Yeah,
like a
right?
skull face.
So I think I gotta get to work after we record this episode. I gotta.
You better get over to the store and pick up those
I
pumpkins.
know they might be sold out.
Get
Pumpkins
a
might be
bunch
sold
of little
out
ones.
the day before Halloween. The little tiny ones.
Just draw with a marker
Oh
on
God, that'd be terrible. It would lose all of its effect.
them. Also, get a big bag of tea lights.
Oh yeah, need some tea lights.
Do you get many trick-or-treaters?
Not really.
That's a sad bummer.
It is sad, and we kind of try to do it up a little bit. We get the fog machine out. I play spooky music from Alexa out the window. You know,
Ooh. Yeah,
you know,
that's
like
awesome.
the cool kids will come up, and I'll hit the button on the fog machine, and it'll spit fog out at them. We have the lantern or the jack-o'-lanterns on the porch. Yeah, I mean, we make an effort, and we don't get that many people. It
That
sucks.
sucks.
It's just
Sucks.
trick or treat just kind of fucking
Stop
sucks.
giving them pennies. Give them actual candy, and they'll come to your house. You're one of those guys.
Ah, you're right.
You
That's
probably
what it
also
is.
give them like toothbrush and shit.
Yeah, I do. Toothpaste, apples. Yeah, we give out apples. Yeah.
All of a sudden, the apples are all back in your yard
Fruit
from
cake.
bouncing off your house.
We cut up fruitcake and put it in plastic baggies. Put it in plastic baggies.
That's for Christmas.
What's the little
trick-or-treaters.
Debbie's that everybody hates?
None.
There's a little Debbie that everybody hates. I don't know.
Snowballs? Those suck.
Yeah.
I hate snowballs. I don't like coconut.
Anyway, yeah, we need to upgrade our candy.
To actually have candy. Like,
Yeah.
okay, so you start off slow with like peanut butter kisses, which, by the way, I will not be coming to your house 12 times with 12 different costumes. You're giving out peanut butter
Get to
kisses.
see all of our pumpkins.
Yeah, well, but if you're giving out peanut butter kisses, I'm not going to show up in multiple costumes.
I think the problem is like there's this people are fucking scared to let their kids
Ugh.
do shit anymore in the neighborhoods. It's not the same anymore.
Kids just want to sit around and play video games.
I mean, maybe the suburbs. I don't live in the suburbs. I live, in Midtown.
Do you know any kids
And
that
we don't
want to
have
get out?
we don't have a lot of kids in our neighborhood anyway.
Yeah, you got a bunch of yuppies.
Yeah, and old people.
Yuppies and oldies.
Yeah, so that's part of the problem, I think. But I mean, I lived in sort of a near downtown neighborhood when I was growing up, and it was vibrant with activity on Halloween. People had decked out their yards, kids everywhere. I mean, I remember when I stopped trick-or-treating around 6th grade or so, 6th or 7th grade, I would make a haunted porch. We had this big porch, and I would fucking like put up sheets and stuff and make it like a haunted porch and play spooky music and pass out candy and have like the shit with the eyeballs, the kids would get touched, and
Yeah.
like the peeled grapes and all of that, do all of that stuff, and it was awesome. I would dress up and I would like be in a rocking chair on the porch and just be like rocking back and forth real slowly, like anything to scare the shit out of the trick-or-treaters. And kids used to eat that shit up. Nowadays, like I turn on the fog machine. I did this, I swear to God, like 2 years ago. The porch was already too scary for one kid because there was spooky music.
Yeah, well, but was he a little kid?
It wasn't that little.
Yeah.
And then I hit the smoke machine one time and it hissed and it scared absolute poop. This one kid, he ran to his mom at the sidewalk. He was a little bit younger, but I don't know, man. Halloween is just.
Well, there's that petition to move it to Saturday before. That's just offensive to me.
The problem, I think,
It's not offensive that they want to make it. I'm not offended by the fact that yes, it would be great if the parents could take their kids out and not have to worry about school the next day or whatever the fuck. It's offensive to the fact that people think that I don't want to do that. I don't want to be a parent and tell kids to go to bed after they go out trick or treating.
man, you know what we used to do after trick or treat? I don't care. We didn't care if it was school night. My parents didn't even care if it was school night. After trick or treat ended, we would go out and play fucking Spotlight, like flashlight tag.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that was a Halloween tradition, and we'd play that till about midnight and then go to bed. It was just different. I don't know.
People suck.
I know they do that stupid like trunk or treat. Have you heard of this?
Yeah.
And almost every possible organization you're affiliated with as a parent and a child has their own trunk or treat. So you end up taking your kid in a costume to like 5 or 6 of these things in parking lots. And it's just what the fuck is that? That's not Halloween.
Yeah, it's like
And it's like daytime. It might as well be goddamn noon because it's
might as
still-
well be goddamn July.
right because it's still fucking daylight out and you got your kids in costumes. It's fucking stupid. Wait till the sun fucking sets. I can't even the jack-o'-lanterns don't even look scary until trick-or-treat hours have ended. God damn it. But that's why I love this movie. This movie, Trick or Treat, it captures all of the tone of my neighborhood on Halloween nights.
It captures the tone of an apartment complex I lived in that wasn't even like roads. It was just like these apartment complexes that are like the buildings are stacked on top, but everybody had an outdoor, whatever. You're still outside and you're going. But the building, it was like apartments stacked on top of apartments, but still all outside and shit, right?
Yeah.
It felt like Halloween on Halloween. I liked your little Dennis Leary rant there.
Like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. You got to rant every
that was
now
written
and
into the script. Like in Demolition Man.
then.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm going to do my bit now.
Yeah.
Just,
While
just,
you eat this rat burger.
just stand there, Sly.
Yeah.
You got to let me get through this.
Sly thought he was just the funniest fucker on the planet back then. It's like, just do your thing.
Yeah, just go. I don't know. I think he looked a little annoyed. But whatever.
Whatever. Anyway, Trick or Treat.
Trick or treat. Happy Halloween.
Yeah, it's good stuff. It's
It
good
is.
stuff. I like this movie. I like this movie a lot. It's very, it's not overly gross. Like there's blood. There's the werewolf bitches.
There are multiple beheadings.
There are, but
There's flesh ripping.
but it's not. It does not seem gory.
No, it's campy violence.
Yeah, it's almost like, oh my god, this is what?
Yeah. And it's in the context of a silly, spooky Halloween movie.
Would you say it's in the spirit?
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Get it?
I do. I get it.
All right. Anyway. Oh boy. Yeah, so anyway, let's talk about places where people can like get our stuffs.
Oh, okay.
I
guess we're on the internet.
We are, I guess.
We're on there's this whole internet of things now. And I'm excited for the day when people will listen to Film Seizure on their refrigerator. Wi-Fi enabled refrigerators. And Alexas and robots and sex bots and furginas.
Well, that technically already exists.
Yeah.
That part already is there. I mean, you just gotta go find it.
It's true. I recommend like a fish concert or something. You're looking for vagina
And fur pits and fur legs. Maybe even fur backs.
Basically, any woman with a hula hoop, probably good bet.
Fish is coming. Is going to be touring. I think this. Anyway, they may have already been here. I don't know.
There's somewhere out west.
Is Dave Matthews the fish for clean people?
No. Dave Matthews. The women are generally like normal-ish, right?
Ish.
Like ish, I mean, they're like basically Dave Matthews fans that are women are almost like all suburban moms right now.
Okay, yeah,
Pretty
because they're
much,
all
right?
old now.
Yeah, but the men are weird. I've been talking about this recently because I DD'd for a group of women who went to go see Dave Matthews Band this summer, and including my wife. And I made the discovery that the men who are Dave Matthews Band fans are the Venn diagram intersect of hippies and frat boys. Like it is where they find common ground.
They're frat peas?
Yeah, sure. They're hip boys.
Hip bros.
Whatever. That's what they are. It's crazy. It's the weirdest fucking thing.
This has nothing to do with Halloween, but hey, if you're looking for a last minute Halloween costume idea, there it is.
There it is.
Dave Matthews Band fan.
Yeah. It'd be like wearing a tie-dyed shirt with some Birkenstocks
With khakis.
with khaki shorts and a PBR hat. Maybe not a PBR hat, like a trucker hat maybe.
Like a Chevy hat?
I don't know. What kind of hats do frat boys wear?
I don't fucking know. They're not my people.
Or you'd wear a tie-dyed shirt with something misogynistic written on it.
Lick my balls, bitches.
Yeah. It's like there's these kids that I think got kicked out of their fraternity recently because they had a painted sign in front of their frat house that says something like, "You taught them to walk, we'll teach them to ride." Yeah.
Okay. Well, wait. Where are they wearing that at?
They had it written on a bed sheet in like shoe polish or whatever, and hanging off of their frat house.
Oh, that's not good.
No.
I was gonna say if they were wearing that like in private or at a party or something. Whatever.
No. They were flying it like a flag.
Yikes.
Anyway, that's a weird place to go to end this episode.
Well, this should just show you that this is the state we were in after those Leprechaun movies.
Yeah, we're still a little bit broken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
we're still got a little bit of a contact high too from the Leprechaun in the Hood movies.
yeah, pretty much. All right. So anyway, back to the internet placings that we were found on.
Yes. Where can people find Film Seizure?
FilmSeizure.com, of course. Facebook, Twitter, @FilmSeizure. Naturally. Of course, you can also find us at Apple Podcast or at Google Play Music Podcast, whatever that's called, Google Play Podcast. Spotify, tune in. We're there. We also upload our stuff to YouTube, just in case that's where you want to listen to stuff. So every Wednesday, new episodes of Film Seizure. Every Monday, new episodes of Monster Mondays. Me personally, I have B Movie Enema.
You do.
I do, and that's every Friday.
It's your side hustle.
It is pretty much. And so I don't know if it has happened yet, but I'll go ahead and announce it. Why not? There is a that was poop sound. It might be poop. Well, I don't know yet. We'll see. It might be poop. But coming soon, if not already, there will be a actual live action, sort of partially animated live action of B Movie Enema the series. So you'll be able to see that. First and foremost, you'll be able to see the new episodes first on Otherworlds TV, which is on the Roku. You can also go to otherworlds.tv. You can get a little membership for like $10 or something like that to watch whatever you want whenever you want. And it might be on there. I don't know. Eventually, it's going to be on YouTube also. I don't know. Again, I'm not entirely sure. This is all in pre-production right now, so I don't know if it's been released yet. But that's the first time I've actually said anything publicly about it. Some people who've been working with me on it or are aware of what's going on know about it. Otherwise, so because we record these so early, I don't know where I'm at in the production, but it is coming. It will happen. That's going to be in addition to my Friday morning articles, the written articles. So, yeah. Basically, it's just cartoon me talking about something and then commenting through the movie.
It's like a visual version of the articles.
Yeah, and you can actually watch the movie with me. Yes. In the future, I'll be doing the same thing with like trailers, and also with maybe just doing commentary alone for movies that I don't have licensing rights to. So just line it up with your DVDs and your whatnots.
Oh, that's fun. It's
Yeah.
sort of like the old riff track.
Yeah, kind of.
Cool.
Yeah, so that's coming soon, if not already. My goal is by today. I thought I would have had something, but we'll see.
I've already watched the first 3 episodes.
No, you haven't. I don't know.
I have.
You have?
They're pretty good.
Damn.
They're pretty good. People, you need to watch them. They're pretty good.
Anyway, either which way,
At
I
least
will
the
be.
first 3 are.
After that.
Yeah. Poop.
No, so I'll be just keep an eye out on the various social media networks and the whatnots and the places. So anyway, yeah. So next week we are done with we have done a lot of theme months in a row. We did 3 in a row. We did Mondo Italiano. We did Sexy September. Then we did
The Lep Eps.
The Lep Eps. So we're done with that for a little while.
Yeah.
So next up,
Do we call it Leproween?
Leprechaunoween.
That's right.
It had to make it much more complicated than that.
So November is a little bit
Yeah, it's
back
a little,
to form.
yeah,
a little bit week to week.
Yeah, I think we start with Savage Harbor.
Yeah. A movie we haven't seen. We haven't seen this movie.
But
that's always fun to do
yeah.
one that we haven't seen before.
And it'll be the return of Chuck Moore, too.
Yeah. He requested to come back for this episode. We can't deny that. Because he said it looks as bonkers as we think it looks. So
Yep.
that'll be something.
Then we've got movies like Next of Kin. We've got
Yes.
not the Patrick Swayze Next of Kin.
Not the Patrick Swayze Next of Kin, no.
Although that might help get extra views.
The
and
Patrick
listens.
Swayze Next of Kin made an appearance in Joe Bob's Howard Rednecks Save Hollywood.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then we also have I'm Not There.
Oh yeah, that's
little Bob Dylan.
That's a bit of a switch up. We have wildly different movies in November.
Because then we finish out for Thanksgiving. What everybody should be thinking about, at least in Central Indiana, around Thanksgiving, which was always when the convention always happened. We have Star Trek: The Motion Picture.
Oh,
Halloween weekend in Indianapolis was always Starbase Indie weekend.
Starbase Indie. Yeah, I didn't grow up with that.
Well, I didn't. Fuck it, we're gonna do it.
But it is what the anniversary?
40th.
40th anniversary.
I know,
Holy
right?
shit balls.
Yep.
Yep. Yes, sir.
Yes.
So that's our lineup for November. Hope you dig it.
Hope
Check
you dig
it
it.
out. I think we've got some good episodes ahead.
Hey, and officially, I think we can go ahead and start counting down to episode 100, which will be
Yeah.
January 1st, 2020, is episode 100.
So we are less than 10 episodes away.
I think so. Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah.
The countdown begins. It's
Countdown.
almost like a New Year's countdown.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Instead of a giant ball or apple.
It's just going to be my balls.
Yeah.
I'm going to get up on a pole. We're going to grease it up real good.
It's like a cannibal holocaust. You just slide down the pole.
Yeah, with my balls
with
out.
your balls hanging in the front. Yeah. Holy crap, that's an image.
Yeah, 2020 is going to be coming in with my balls.
I think I really liked the last 20 minutes of this episode. It was
just free flowing, just like my balls coming down that pipe.
That's right. Just blowing in the wind, baby.
It's gonna be cold, so they might shrivel a little bit, but it's gonna be good. It's gonna be real. It's gonna be a thing to behold. So look for that video.
It'd definitely be furry.
Here's my fur balls.
Fur balls.
Where's my vagina to go with it? Actually, that's what the pole is creating.
Yeah,
the pole is creating my fur vagina, and then my fur balls are still gonna be hanging out there.
Oh man.
I'll be transitioning on that night.
Oh my God. Oh, we've done it, folks. We've done it.
Wow, we hit just about everything that might be tabooed today.
God.
Oh, boy. All right. Well, until next time. Happy Halloween, and my name is Jeff Arbuckle.
My name is Jason Oliver, and you have been listening to Spooky Film Seizure.